go back to the URL and explained why she took advantage of the fact that he stayed with Remy Ma. He became stuck. Look, the URL wouldn't work with him anymore, so he stayed with Remy Ma. Eazy wants to return to the URL. He never intended to simply go away forever. He desired to be freed from a contract and to engage in fresh negotiations since it would set a poor example for other battle rappers with contracts similar to his. They didn't want to give it to him since they wanted him to stick to the terms of the agreement. Thus, when he was able to wiggle his way out of the contract, it was a bad example to the league with the other battle rappers because Eazy was essentially telling them that they could get out of contracts they didn't even know they were committed to. For Beasley, it became even more intimate when Eazy did that. In the end, however, Beasley ended up making this more intimate. They cleaned their hands and made them truly dedicate themselves to Remy by excluding the best battle rappers on there. Claimed that his lack of the superstar power names that are important in combat rap prevented his career from taking off. You see, if you're strong at battle rap, you need big names to help you advance in your career. To be bashing up on people who don't have a respectable name is pointless. When you're competing against the league's top players, your stock increases. You see, you could score 30 points for that, but you could score 40 points on Jermaine, Jeff, and Steve. Look, when you're scoring 30 or 40 points, that makes a difference. Therefore, Kevin Durant James, Steph Curry, and Durant, you see, that's not the same. Therefore, those superstar names are essential for combat rap. When it came to battle rap, that was one of the URL's capabilities, since that is the position of power that keeps them in the game above everyone else. They have the best roster, which is why they contract out their skill so they can't move anywhere. They are all incredibly talented. The URL has an advantage over them since they have a better roster. And Eazy required help when Eazy went and Remy was attempting to do her job. Names to keep expanding, succeeding, and becoming more well-known. In combat rap, the only people he can fight like he was doing, other than that, are those who might have a name outside the URL. Although he will pick up the leftovers that are out there, they will eventually run out because there aren't enough. And why do you see him engaging in particular conflicts with particular individuals since he requires the URL roster? He became even more dedicated to Chrome 23 as a result of the URL making it their mission to never want to collaborate with him again because their King of the D is no longer cutting the checks in that manner. Remy is the only one who was able to provide the Block Captain with a place to stay while she was dealing with her $400,000 debt. Because of her intense desire to escape the red, particularly after Papoose turned down her offer of help and came to save the league, she was the only one who was truly willing to take him in to complete the task at hand. She then decided to find out who was on a hot and coming come dash up. It was simple for Block Captain, who desired some kind of release from the URL because he was embarrassed by his underpayment at the same time as your boss was kicking your daughter awful. Awful, dreadful. I would be attempting to connect with him to some extent, but it's difficult when this man is considerably older than 30. Despite being close to 40 years old, this man has adolescent kids who say, "Come on, bro, you need to be more man than that and step up to the plate, especially if you're going to be talking this raw gangster street stuff, and yet you aren't. Well, your boss was kicking your daughter terrible, bad, dreadful Block Captain, who wanted some sort of escape from the URL because he was embarrassed by his underpayment, found it easy. I would be trying to establish some sort of connection with him, but it's hard when this man is well over 30. Come on, bro, you need to be more man than that and step up to the plate, especially if you're going to be talking this raw gangster street stuff, and yet you aren't," they say to this man, who is almost 40 years old. Gives him. She undercuts him on that as well, and you know what I mean by that. To be honest, he is really attached to her because she appears to receive everything back by virtue of him being the boy. He feels that this is all he really has to treasure, which is why he is so connected to it. Consider the fact that she is the one paying his price. He has no idea how much it will cost. She informed him of his expenses while also receiving 20% of them. Imagine that you are employed by me. You are unaware of your value. It's a business, but I'm telling you what you do. Thus, I'm not going to ever as a business. As a business, I want to pay you as little as I can because that's why it's a business. It isn't a business if it isn't profitable. Make money, then you want to be able to afford whatever it is that you require. Since he is unaware of his value, I will tell him what he is worth. He recently ended a 6-year contract in which he was undervalued. I'm going to tell him how much he's worth. Then I'll be his manager as well as a night out. Thus, I am both your manager and your boss. Consider that. I am your manager, your boss, and your girlfriend. Let's get everything back. Then, I'm undermining his value. Since we supposedly go together, I will receive 20% of that. You must also spend that on me. How will we spend our time together? You're not buying me when I play you like a nobody. Even if I'm famous, it isn't anything when you know that all of these people would want to be with me and choose to give it to you. You're not giving me nothing. She gets everything back. She will regain everything, and he will only receive sex. It's all in her name then. She is listed as the owner of the automobile, the house, and the league. She is getting her way. She is having her manner. Additionally, she was prepared to leave Papoose in her mind, then let go of everything because she has total control. She has total authority. She did just that. Take a look at how she is getting what she wants. Look, she's having fun with it. She is giddy over it and laughs the entire way to the bank, saying things like, I got him, that's what took place. As simple as that. Now hurry up. Yes, the game is nasty. However, that is what they are doing. And as he has nothing else to rely on, he is unable to travel anywhere. While she's sitting up there, he has nothing else to rely on. Lying. He works in sanitation and has an 820 credit score and a 401k. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. All you did was lie. All he did was lie. He was left with nothing to rely on. Because there aren't many other options, he is limited to Chrome. The Black Ice Cartel won't pay him $50,000. No $50,000 is being given to him by King of the Dot. The $50,000 URL isn't being sent to him by Gates of the Garden. You're not dealing with him at all. What other options does he have? After that, considering Remy his manager, she doesn't want him to go elsewhere. She desires total authority. For this reason, Gavish knew no one else would truly be able to equal the stock she gave him. Why? Since she still receives it all back, she had the power to increase his stock to 100. She will retrieve it nonetheless, so he won't see it. She will receive 20% of it. He also had to pay his fee. Let's be straightforward. She is evil and wicked, but she is also not stupid. She is, but she still recognizes when she has robbed and depleted someone. And once more, he believes he is winning since he is coming from nothing at all when he arrives. Thus, at least he can visualize that it's the way it is. I'm receiving more than what I was receiving from the URL. I was therefore not receiving anything from the URL. At least with Remy, anyway. Even still, it's better to see a few bucks than to be on the URL and see very little. In addition, I get to have sex with a well-known woman. And you are aware of how I will make you famous overnight. Yes, he is pleased to be having sex with a celebrity overnight. The thought of knowing that he is having sex with Remy Ma makes him very happy. Additionally, considering who he had sex with before Remy Ma, this is an improvement in every aspect. I'm being honest, that guy was practically housed like a dam. But thanks to her, look, you all now know even more. Do you see what I mean? Do you see that? I will provide you with all of the receipts that attest to this. One of his bosses was cutting his checks, and his girl was having sex with him. Listen to the question now. Is it accurate or not? Is it real? This is true. Am I making up my name? I am awaiting your arrival. You can't go on any streets. We're claiming that we're having a great time tonight. Did your girlfriend really handle your boss's task?